We're going live with Calgary Vision.
Is there a place called Seedy Hamburgers?
Oh, it was pretty seedy. There is a lot of seedy places in this fucking city.
They put sesame seeds on the bun quite often. They could put them in the burger patty. It might be
That's
tasty.
not what I mean, of course, but you know.
I know. I'm just
It's actually called Seedy Handy Burgers.
Here's a cool story. Here's a cool story. This liquor mart over here, where is it? Liquor Zone or something. It was probably called something Bill Spec. That was where I brought my first Guinness.
How about CP Aspergers?
Where did I used to live? It was up here.
Christ, fuck. Ew. That's gross.
Yeah, so you go.
I mean, that's what happens after you eat them, right? And like that's right.
Fuck.
If you've got no control down there,
the whole patty just comes out of your fucking asshole.
It reconstitutes itself on the way through.
It just doesn't digest. It refuses.
It changes from a patty to a sausage.
It's
like,
nope. It's the T1000 of hamburgers.
Exactly.
Technology here.
Yeah.
I never mentioned before.
Nope.
It's a weird thought I had at one point. The T1000 was a thing that existed, and I invented it. I could revolutionize the hood cleaning industry.
Yeah, the house I used to live in, it's gone now. They tore it down or built this duplex, but I used to live here anyway.
Well, they had to burn it down after you left. It's like, God damn, no one can live here now.
I had to burn it down before I left.
Like those toilets, my God.
Yeah, it's like the plumbing is fucked.
I'm glad
Redbeard.
Redbeard would use his future technology for the good of humankind.
Yeah.
So that our
let's
Burger
back
Kings
up
would have.
for a second.
No. I was going to say that there are obviously other, but it's just a thought I had. It would
Did you claim that you invented the T1000?
No, I said if I did.
Oh, okay.
If I somehow in a dream came up with
you would waste that on hood cleaning.
Again, you say waste, but it would be one of many applications, obviously.
It would fucking Android thingy that can fucking do anything, and you would use it for hood cleaning. That's a waste,
dude. The number of fucking people that die from restaurant hoods and grease catching fire every year, it's an essential service needs to be provided. Right, and all I'm saying is it's one avenue. Like, you could completely take over that industry. You just start at the top, tell this thing to go through the whole ductwork, scraping along as it goes. Once it gets to the hood fan, expand, get rid of all the grease, and just put it into a bucket. You could do 50 jobs a day and you're done. And you make a shit ton of money. And then and again, there are many other applications where it could be utilized. It's just one of many.
I think for the betterment of humankind, I would use that technology for hats. So, like your hat, you just a Tilly hat. It changes into a Tilly hat.
Yep.
Top hat changes into a top hat.
Hey, hair for me. It could be hair.
Hair, yeah, it could turn into hair.
No, you don't need hair.
I think the best.
Occasionally, I kind of miss the fact that I used to have a lot of hair in my head.
Hair hat combo. It would be
every once in a while it'll spaz out and it'll create one of those giant spikes and stab somebody. But otherwise, pretty good.
Just every so often.
Yeah,
one out of every 100 is good odds.
So Redbeard wants
a hair hat.
So Redbeard wants a T1000. He wants this Robert Patrick looking thing to clean ducks for him, so he can get a monopoly in the duck cleaning business. That's
duck cleaning business.
I said there's many other applications you could do with it. It was just it's what I do for a living.
I don't want to hear.
And I was watching the movie, and I thought that would be pretty cool to have that to do my job. Is all I was saying.
You would be out of a job.
The world's worst Lex Luthor.
Not if I was the one that owned the thing.
You would be out of a job.
Of course, but I'd have this thing that would do my job.
I made a post on Facebook tonight about a fucking Walmart.
The Walmart thing. I saw that.
Fucking corralling people into the self-checkout. You're letting Skynet slash your own goddamn throat. You'll be out of a job in 5 years.
No. If I own the technology, then sure, a lot of other people are going to be out of a job. But it's like everything else in the world.
You're okay with other people being.
No. That's it. No, it sucks that people are losing their job because of automation. But automation is going to keep happening, and it's going to keep happening. And People are there's new lines. It's like people that say, "Oh, if we fucking stop using oil, blah blah blah, you can't." All these new jobs are being created in like the solar industry and all the other industries.
Here it goes.
And it's just like the world changes, man. The world changes. You have
Here
to
it
kind of.
goes.
It happens.
We can continue with this in a
That's
moment.
it. That's
Nick,
it.
what are
I'm
you
done.
drinking?
Sorry.
What are you drinking, Nick?
I'm still drinking this.
Lee, what are you drinking?
I am drinking the amazing, awesome champagne of beers. Miller High Life.
The High Life.
Yep.
And Redbeard's still drinking that. Greg is still eating crackers and cheese.
I'm eating cheese and crackers with Arnold.
Yeah,
And I'm all out of cheese, so I'm just eating crackers.
there we go.
Arnold's eating crackers from what I've seen.
I'm on my last little bit of cafe, and yeah,
What's Jamie got? Nothing?
Gottfried.
Eric
He's
Gilbert Gottfried?
He's working on his stand-up. Now, Lee, the location of the store that you work in, have they gone to? Are they accepting like online orders, where the online orders come in and you have people that pick the orders and put them together?
No, honestly,
Are you one of those people that picks the orders?
no.
Okay.
That would be someone who works during the day.
Oh, there you go.
Gotcha.
I'm not a goddamn fucking bag boy, Nick.
I mean, yeah.
Don't you mean like paper or those 25-cent? Oh, you don't have. Do you still have plastic bags at your location?
No, we just eliminated them.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
so now you
And
get the green ones or the.
Yeah, you buy the bags. You know, you buy those big fucking plastic bags or whatever that you can use, or you can ask for paper, which you have to pay
These
10
ones that my
cents
wife
for.
bought today.
Right.
Ooh.
Or bigger ones. Like there's all kinds of
Gotcha.
shapes and sizes. But now you can also just ask for the old style paper bag, and you have to pay an extra like 10 cents on your bill for every bag. Although fucking we got a giant tiger as well in town.
Ooh,
And they're trying to undercut this by selling their bags for 5 cents.
Ooh, the GT boutique, as we like to call it around here.
Oh, it's a giant tiger.
So and I don't want
I
to like.
fucking love Giant Tiger.
Here's the deal. Like we all know, I work retail as well. So I work in a retail environment where you have to be served by
Right.
me and my staff. And but you know, I'm aware as to what's going on in the industry and stuff. And yeah, there's a level of automation to it. And you know, I'll be honest. At the end of my day, because more often than not, on my way home, I have to like stop off in groceries and shit like that. And really, I want to get fucking home as soon as I possibly can. So, you know I can go through those self checkouts and I'll fucking check myself out faster than pretty much anyone can. But I still see, and I don't know, I don't have access to numbers and stuff like that. I mean, when I go to to Food Basics, which is right around the corner from my house, I still see like the one express aisle is open. I still have 2 or 3 aisles that are still manned by people, and then it's usually 2. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And then the 3 aisles that they took out have turned into like 6 self checkouts, and they usually have 2 people there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, are cashiers losing their jobs? Like, are they reallocating like the
I feel like the
payroll?
reallocation's kind of happening because, like you're just saying, like they used to have less registers open, but like more registers open in the store, but less people. And then now you go to the self checkout area, and there might be like 8 different checkout things you can use. You got 2 cashier people hovering all the time, making sure things are okay and all this and that. And
I mean,
I don't know. It's just
you'd be foolish to think that they're not saving any money, because they totally are.
for
every
sure.
business that puts in the automated, you know, it's as a cost saving measure. The retailers that have gone to online ordering, like at Walmart now, because like the Walmart I go to now, if we do an online order, they have like 8 or 9 different pickup like
Kind of
parking
personal, almost personal shopper things that have to walk around and shop for people.
And you see the people all the time whipping, like the employees of whatever establishment, walking through the cart with their scanner. So, I mean, yeah, you're taking away jobs. You're adding jobs. Are they reallocating? I don't know. Like,
I I just
At the
feel
end
like,
of the
some stuff, honestly, kind of it sucks, and this. But overall, like some of these archaic practices that we've been like digging up dead dinosaurs for fucking fuel and all this kind of shit. Like, the world does need to make some pretty decent changes because, like, again, it's some people are on the fence, some people believe it, some don't. I personally think climate change, like even just the change from last winter here to this winter here, is fucking it hasn't been even remotely cold all winter long here. It's fucking stupid. Like maybe
People who
minus
don't
12,
think
minus
it's real
20.
are straight up fucking idiots.
But again, like what I'm saying, though, like, but even if it isn't, then in like 20 years, whatever, and it doesn't come to pass, then oh no, we accidentally bettered humanity in all these other aspects, like the power plants and shit. Nick, you're muted, by the way. Power plants and stuff. Like we have enough tides. Canada's coastline. Wave power, tidal power, wind power, solar power.
Yeah, well, that's
you can power the
living in New
world.
Brunswick, and I'm sure Lee living in Nova Scotia, where he's at. Like, why hasn't anybody invested in fucking tidal power? We live on the Bay of Fundy. It's the highest tides in the world. How come nobody's leveraging that shit? Why is there?
You know why? Because here in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, the fucking Irvings have a stranglehold on all business and all, all fossil fuels and everything.
You think they'd be trying to leverage, like, ensuring your future, right? Because
So I just saw an article. The
They
EU
care about
is
their future, not ours.
The EU is now, I guess, banning all sales of diesel and gasoline vehicles by 2025 or something, or like 5 years earlier than they were going to, and stuff like that. Like people say, like, electronic vehicle battery making is this harmful, but again, those processes are also being improved and stuff, and hopefully, eventually, that won't be as bad as it is. And having an electric car in the long run, I feel like, you know, if they're maintained properly and they last for a long time, like that. Somebody I read a post about somebody that has a Tesla, and the first service for the Tesla was after like 80,000 miles to get the bearings checked or something like that.
Yeah, less moving
Like,
parts. In the Tesla.
Yeah, that's it. It's insane.
There's no oil.
Well,
I
it's
think,
probably
yeah,
some kind of lubrication it uses.
Yeah,
but
there's a little bits here and there. We'll always need oil for some
There's no
stuff.
engine going like this.
Yeah.
Jamie,
We'll always need oil for lubrication, and also like some plastics that, you know, like can be
Some plastics.
But-
I got news for you. Like
No, well,
most
they
of the
can make- they
products
can
we
make-
use.
They can make
Well-
plastics now that are like they're completely biodegradable, which needs to get more mainstreamed as well. But I'm just saying, like some hard plastic components that are like a dashboard or something in a car that's meant to be there for a long time, and then when the car is wrecked, it can be broken down. But yeah, just getting plastic out of the kind of waste cycle where it gets to the point where it gets into the oceans and stuff is definitely a thing we need to do for sure.
I suspect personal transportation is going to go the way of the dinosaur in the next like 50 years or so. Anyway, I think considering how big the populations are getting in Earth and how close together we're all going to be and how much more urbanized everything's going to be, like public transportation is just going to take over from personal transportation anyway.
Yeah.
I can like in big cities.
There's people that probably
But in
won't wanna give
other
up their
places,
freedoms.
though, like, well, again, like here in North Bay, even it's been a long time since I've taken
Everything
the bus.
comes
But
back to North Bay with Redbeard.
I'm just giving myself as an example, man. You're kind of in a small town as well. Like like the bus stops are
Bigger than North Bay.
good enough, but depending on where you live, you might have to like stop at the bus stop and then walk a few blocks to get home. And if you went shopping or something, that like they'd have to make the public transportation. Or just redo the whole
There's still
whole
people
city.
going to be people out there, maybe within a few generations, maybe not, but that people won't want to give up their freedoms, and they feel like controlling the means of their personal transportation is going to be one of them. Like people want to have that muscle
As somebody
car.
who takes
Well, that's a
transportation-
big thing. That's a big thing, man. Being able to just like
Somebody
go where you want to go.
Greg
when you
was
want
trying to say something about somebody who takes public transportation but owns a Camaro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as somebody who takes public transportation, it's the fucking worst thing in the world, and I wish I didn't take it every day, but it's a lot more cost effective than driving my car, and especially where I work, where parking is crazy expensive. Second of all, until your electric car sounds as good as a V8, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
You know what? They're now advertising the
Tesla's
new
a whole lot
advertising, the new advertising sort of bent I've seen for like new generation cars that are electric cars. A lot of them, their sales pitches, it's as fast and it gets as much miles as your old car, but now it's dead silent. You rev from 0 to 60 and you don't hear it. Like I've actually like that was one of those fucking stupid ass Super Bowl commercials for a car. It was like I think it was like Toyota or some shit. It's like our new generation's cars. You can rev them up to from 0 to 60 and however short a time, and you won't hear a goddamn thing.
That's
I won't
great if
deny.
you don't like cars.
I won't deny. No. Again, though, you can like cars and not need this. Like me, I love driving. I love cars. I've never had a car with, I guess, a really, really cool sounding engine. I'll give you that. My Cabriolet, only being a 4, though, when the exhaust manifold broke, it sounded fucking badass. But anyway, I've always been the kind of guy though to drive around with my music cranked up anyway. So that doesn't mean a damn thing to me, really. Like
there's always a lot of people who are always going to be. I want everyone to hear how big my penis is.
Again, yeah, that's what I feel like. A lot of these people that like I gotta have this giant. I'm gonna at every red light I stop at, just rev the fuck out of my engine so everyone look at how cool I am. Yeah, it's like people that put stacks on their fucking pickup trucks. Like you're compensating for their I hate that.
People
shit.
that cut off their exhaust and put it in a straight pipe.
I feel like my hometown.
Depending on the car, straight pipes can be cool.
It's fairly similar to North Bay,
Yeah,
although
that can be
a little less desolate. But we do get like the same fucking hillbillies driving around in their shit wagons with their fucking plywood fucking backs they put on and
box body Mustang with a fucking 5 liter.
Again, like I
V8
won't
in it.
deny though, like listening, like I watch Top Gear and shit like that, and some of the sounds that even playing the GTA role playing stuff I'm doing right now. The GTA cars, they're all cool. They're all cool.
Always
stuff,
comes back to GTA
some
with
of-
Redbeard.
North Bay and GTA, you know it, Nick. But anyway, so there's the server I play on.
Get
People,
that.
North
people
Bay.
have put a crap ton of time into importing real cars into the game, and I got an M6 right now, and my buddy Chad has an M3, and the engine sounds when you're like in the car are along with Greg's point, they sound fucking awesome.
Is it a current generation M6 with the V6 turbo, or is it the V8 M6?
I honestly don't know. I believe
the
it's
V8 M6 will sound better, even though it's not as fast.
it does sound really good, but I honestly don't know. Like when I don't know what year I went to the dealership and I was like, this is the one I want, and I bought it and I got it all upgraded, so it's got a bunch of upgrades on it and stuff.
For you.
I don't
What
know
else
what
do you
the
want?
engine is, to be honest. I'm not sure what year it is. I didn't look into that.
Yeah, like and if it's the current ones they because of I think European regulations, they had to ditch the V8s that BMW used to make, which are really, really good sounding cars.
Oh, it's like GTA
But
got
everything
real
with a
cars in
V8,
it now.
Well, it's like anything naturally aspirated. It's not as fast as
Does
something like
GTA's got real cars in it now?
Depending on what you're like I said, I play on a completely different online system from the normal GTA Online.
All right.
So they're constantly bringing in new motorbikes and new cars. Like Chad has a Toyota Camry. You'd think like, who the fuck cares? It's a Camry. It's the only one on the server for whatever reason. And people are offering him like millions of dollars for this fucking Toyota Camry because it's the only one that you can have on this server.
That's a waste of
$GTA,
money.
just so we're clear.
Yeah. Well, again, like this server's really weird. The money is like my BMW M6 was $1.8 million in GTA money. So it's very weird.
And that's normally about $110,000 car. So yeah, it's
No, M6 I'd say is probably in Canadian dollars probably around 2 at least. Like
$2 million.
no 200,000 at least. Like an M5 is like 150, I think.
I think they're only like. You might be right because I haven't been up to date on that.
Even up there, M3 is M3s are not fucking cheap. Like they're expensive cars.
M3s are around 75-ish starting, but I thought a starting M56 was somewhere in the 110 range. But
Anyway, it's nowhere near the
I might be wrong.
1.8
I
million.
will stake my life on it, but that's
That was
correct.
the whole point you're getting to is that you're not wrong. It's nowhere near the 1.8 mark. So, yeah. Anyway, good times.
Oh, wow.
Lee looks like he's he's trying to poo right now or
Yeah,
something. I'm
Lee's
not sure
gonna-
what happened there.
He's trying to. You see him pushing.
Just trying to
Listen,
shit
all,
out of
all I'm
kid.
gonna say is I enjoy the sound of my car. It lets everyone know that my penis is large, right, honey?
And in charge.
That's right.
Large and
That's
in
right.
charge.
Tell
Hey,
my
if you
wife
get an
I have the
electric
world's
car,
biggest
your
penis.
penis will be large and charged.
Oh,
Well, when we go to sex stuff, I don't let my
Large
wife
and
look at anyone else's
turbocharged.
penis because I don't want my wife to like realize how much smaller
Really?
they are.
How do
than
you
me.
do that? Do you put blind?
I put
On
tape.
me?
I put tape over your eyes. I'm like, don't worry, babe. I'm just hiding you from small penises. That's
And
all.
I-
So you've
So
you've been lying to her all along. Like she's always thought you had this massive penis because of your car, but in reality, it's super small, and she hasn't
I mean,
realized because you've been
basically, yeah.
gaslighting her with it.
Catfish.
Listen,
I think this might.
I picked my wife up for our first date in a 2005 WRX STI. If you don't know what that looks like, look it up. It looks like a fucking 16-year-old modified his mom's fucking four-door sedan. And if that didn't tell her how big my penis was, then nothing else would.
Well, it looks like we're coming up to our 12th anniversary.
Yeah, 12 years.
Wow.
12 years
Wow.
on Saturday.
Oh, wow. My condolences.
Yay.
And,
My condolences.
We're
This is
going
nice.
to a mildly priced restaurant to celebrate.
And
Oh,
after all these
McDonald's.
years, You're lying to me, so we may not even make it
Oh,
to 12 years.
Agnes is Agnes. Make him take
Say
you to
what?
Brothers Grimm. Go to Brothers Grimm. It's delicious.
I missed something.
My wife's being humped by the dog right now.
Say Greg lied to you?
I just tell
That's
I
charming.
just tell my wife I have the world's biggest penis, and if I don't, that's fine. It's small and perfect for anal. So she continues to tell me that I have the world's biggest penis.
I need more beer.
I haven't seen many penises. Or what?
Well, 12 years of that, she's a very patient woman.
I'm a saint.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're okay.
Oh God, I need more beer. I'll be right back.
Arnold's humping the fuck out of her right now.
It's hard to
How's
hear.
London Porter, Ashley.
It's tasty. I completely forgot I bought this, and it was a very happy surprise. I thanked
Super
I-
fucking jealous right now.
I thanked Ashley of a few days ago. It's like Ashley,
Leave
great job,
me,
man.
I'll just walk in myself.
You're on the
Good
ball.
job, motherfucker.
Good job, motherfucker. I can sleep nicely
Well,
tonight.
I'll go to bed in like 10 minutes. I'll tire him out.
See, I was going to grab. I have this crowler of a relatively high. It's like 8.2%, but it's another coffee stout from Cayman
Mhm.
Kettle, and I just wasn't really feeling it. And then I opened up the fridge door, and there was this, and I have a pale ale right next to it. I'm like, okay, cool. I got 2 good beers to carry me through the night, and I don't have to. Not that I
Go
have.
crazy. Yeah.
I don't have to drink another like 8% a coffee stout. 'Cause one is enough. One is enough.
I miss having Fuller's beers so much.
Yeah, the Fullers, the Porter, the ESB has been around quite a bit, and I had the Fullers, the IPA that comes in the box.
Oh, really?
I had that one a few weeks ago. That was really tasty. I mean, it was nice to actually have a traditional IPA, as it was intended like 400 years ago.
Jesus.
Okay, good news. My wife is tiring out Arnold, and he has not been able to penetrate her yet.
Oh, thank God.
He's not been
that he hasn't
able.
tried.
Jesus. What's the other? There's like 3 cans of Fullers that have been in the LC. Or
It's the other one, the London Pride.
maybe. What style
Is that
the
in a
London-
rainbow can?
The London Pride is their standard bitter. It's in a red can generally.
I don't know if that maybe. That may be it. Anyways,
They-
I
they-
saw it pretty side by side.
Yeah, and then they have their 18 or something beer, which is like their kind of like specialty celebration bitter or something like that. And then they have like their organic honeybee fucking one.
See that one. Sounds like a good thing. Fuck.
They probably have a bunch of new stuff I don't know about too, because it's been so long since they've had shit in the NSLC. So which pisses me off.
Bose has ruined anything organic and beer for me.
You know what? Bose used to actually be legitimately a really good brewery. Granted, the standards were lower, but they used to be really good. They used to come out with some good special releases. And then it's like over the last 3 or 4 years, they've just completely like shit the bed.
Sounds like Bose. That sounds like Bose.
Yeah, London Pride. There we go.
Remember when Bose used to make really cool one-offs like all the time, and now they make nothing?
I was literally just talking about Bose.
Yeah,
but,
that's what.
Yeah, I could have sworn you said some other name that I can't even think of right now. I apologize. That's funny.
No, you know what really did it for me was when I joined their club. It wasn't the first year; it was the second year, I think, where they did their barrel-aged beer program. It's like, oh, great! For $120, I think you got 10 barrel-aged beers plus 2 glasses. Not the cheapest, but I thought it was reasonable. Plus, I mean, literally, their pickup location is like 5 minutes from my house, so it's like,
nice.
Oh, this is a no-brainer. And I cannot believe it. Of those 10 beers, I think there was like 1 I actually enjoyed. The rest were just like a hot mess. It's like, this sounds amazing. And then you mixed it with a bunch of shit that didn't sound so amazing.
Right.
Like 5 beers that sound amazing. And then you just mix them all together. Because why? Why? Because I like pizza. I like hamburgers. And I like, I don't know, I like sushi.
Chicken wings.
But I love it best when they're blended all together and you just serve it to me in a drink.
Yeah, it's a smoothie of fucking different fast foods.
Yeah, it's so
shoved together. Yeah, yeah. No, Bose was great for a while. Like they had a Granted, they were a big fish in a small pond for a while, but still, their releases were exciting for a while. Like they were like generally really good and exciting, and then now it's just like. Ugh.
I never really cared about their whole for me, I don't give a shit about the whole organic. I've never found an organic vegetable to be tastier than a non-organic vegetable. I've tried like some kind of side by side, and it's like meh. But like their whole
go bad faster too.
Just their whole like organic spiel and how like they just kind of stuff it in your face the whole time. I'm like, I get it. It's so whatever. You know,
So Eric Gilbert says small and dominated, which I'm only assuming he's talking about Greg's penis.
Oh, probably. But my engine's big and revs real loud.
Not good. Like what is your Camaro red line at? What is that V8 Rev 2?
Next
Toasted marshmallows. So there you go.
believe,
Prepare to be disappointed.
Somewhere in the 7,000 probably.
It doesn't rev high. I believe it's 6,500.
Shut up, Greg.
Yeah, pork, but
It's not high. I mean, the Mustangs, the new Mustangs rev to about 8,000. They're pretty high revving engines.
All right. So I'm gonna drink this beer. It's a Tire Shack, a new brewery out of Moncton, New Brunswick. Secret Society Toasted Marshmallow Stout, 5.5% ABV. So brand new brewery making a toasted marshmallow stout. Now, is it because you screwed up the recipe and it tastes overly sweet? You're like, let's call it toasted marshmallow because it tastes like cotton candy.
Oh god.
Oh, he's really giving it too, eh?
Yeah.
I'm hoping if it's a brand new brewery, that it's something that he previously did as like a homebrew, and he's like, I can make this scale or something. Hopefully.
So
let's face it, if it's a brand new brewery, it pretty much is homebrew.
I think Jamie properly prophesized the score on this one earlier in the chat, and he gave it a Nick out of 5. So,
Nick out of 5.
Yeah, we shall see what this comes out
He's
at.
right. Let's see if he's right.
It can't be. Actually, the toasted marshmallow one I think was one of the better ones from that Rochester Mills pack, if I recall correctly. So, if they do it right, that could be pretty fucking tasty.
I don't know.
And, I random thought. Everybody here toasted a marshmallow over a campfire at least once in their life.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh yeah.
How do you like your marshmallows toasted?
On a propane burner in the middle of my living room.
That's a weird thing to do. I mean the marshmallow itself, like for me personally, I let that bitch catch on fire, burn all the way around, then take that shell, and then eat the shell, and then do it over again, and then eat the middle of it. I love that crispy burnt marshmallow flavor is delicious.
I once got a flaming marshmallow that fell onto my face. I'm actually surprised it didn't actually cause scarring.
That sounds kind of horrible. That looks okay.
It was actually quite painful, but I think I got it off fast enough that it didn't.
You're actually fucking lucky, man. That's kind of like napalm a little bit. That'd be fucking horrible.
Because I was a dumb kid and I pulled my marshmallow in the air. I was like looking at it, and then it fell on my face.
Oh, like my dad used to like his he was so meticulous with it if it ever caught fire, he'd like hand it off to one of us. He was like, it had to be
He needs to calm
just golden brown. And I tried his way. It is very good, but for me, it's too much effort, and I love that
I'm not
charred
sideswiped.
marshmallow taste.
Oh look, it's
Paul-
Mr. Fucking. I'm not joining tonight because I'm drinking fucking Bourbon County in Arkansas or whatever bullshit he's
Oh,
talking
it's
about.
Baby Yui.
Baby
Actually,
you was
I
doing the
didn't-
Baby Yoda thing before it was cool.
Exactly. Way ahead of the curve. No Bourbon County here, though, boys. No Bourbon County. Do not have it.
No.
That's not you, that's radar.
Yeah.
Fuck off, radar.
Start a hangout.
Yulia, I'm not allowed to say the name, but how's your, places of business where you have people pick certain organic substances for you?
How are your weed farms doing, Yui?
Yeah, weed.
I'm not in that industry yet.
No?
Yet.
Yeah.
Your
I can't
cocoa
hear you
fields
over
doing
our
well?
tough-
Okay.
Jesus, get
Look
him,
at his
Arnold, get him.
tongue hanging out. His tongue hanging out too. Oh my god.
I know.
Savage.
He's a
That's
disgusting
awesome.
animal.
He's like, let me lick your ear while I hump your shoulder, right?
Well, to
It's
get
giving
back
his
to
old face.
yes,
Yes, sir.
Face.
I meticulously toast my marshmallow. I don't burn it like a savage.
Yeah.
No, so you're kind of like my dad. That's kind of cool. Like, yeah, I like it like that. I don't have the patience.
Apparently your
but
dad didn't teach you very well.
So you also prefer yours to be kind of just nicely toasted, I'm assuming, Lee?
Golden brown, motherfucker.
Golden
That's how
brown,
you do
man.
marshmallows.
There it goes.
How about you? How about you, Nick?
What?
How do you like your
Marshmallow.
marshmallows toasted?
I tried to answer this before, but you were still talking.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah. All
You should
right.
be aware.
So, my thoughts on like I like putting it over the fire, but not enough. Like I don't do it right away so that they get singed black on the outside. I like they
Holy
like melty
fuck,
on the
get to
inside.
the point. Jesus Christ.
I'm getting the point. I'm very particular
Yeah,
to the way I like my roasted
Rick, we
marshmallows.
don't need a history.
No one gives a shit that much.
I asked the question. I'm listening. I keep talking, Nick.
Yeah, I'm asking.
Hey,
I mean, I'm
Hey, Nick,
fucking
it's your
answering
hangout.
because-
Own it, bitch.
Just
Do
because
it.
New York doesn't have the
So long
fucking
of an
patience.
answer. Do you like it?
It's because
toasted?
York doesn't have the fucking patience to listen to me that long.
You were only got so much time left. You know how it is.
Like really, there's
Yeah,
there's
he's
only
gonna-
two answers:
He's
golden
gonna
brown
die
or
soon. He's
fucking
already
burnt.
in his 80s.
He's
I
an
don't really
Arkansas.
like He's a narcissist.
Internet turns off at 11 o'clock in Arkansas.
they pull it out for the night. They plug it back
The
in at 6
power is
a.m.
out.
Turn
You
it
know,
on.
my favorite kind of roasted marshmallow is a hot dog. A roasted hot dog. They're much better than marshmallows.
Yeah, I'd go for hot dogs over.
You know what? I can't argue with that. But with my question though, how do you like if you had to have a marshmallow, Greg? How do you enjoy it?
I prefer golden brown. I don't like them burnt.
People who torch their marshmallows are degenerates.
Yeah,
Exactly.
when asked the question how they like a sweet confectionery dessert, they opt for a cylindrical piece of meat in their mouth.
Hey,
That's right.
I actually cooked a steak on a stick over a
That's
fire
enough.
one time when I was camping, and it came out
Burn
really.
that too.
No,
Fucking caveman.
the outside
That's
got
big
like an
steak
awesome.
floating
The outside got like an awesome kind of char on it, and the inside was just a tad above medium. It was really good.
You
I
know
enjoyed
when
it a
you
lot.
you know when you
People
char
put snow
stuff
in
like
underwear.
that just increases your chances of getting cancer later in life.
You know,
Carcinogens.
if extra flavor means cancer, then it's going to happen probably. Cause
Yeah,
I go
you're
for
gonna have
flavor.
lots of extra flavor when you go through chemotherapy and you lose all your fucking beard hair.
I'd probably opt for something aside from chemo because I don't think that's really a way to go. Depending on no, there's
Oh, fuck.
I'd
What are you gonna
I'd
do?
research.
Homeopathy? You're gonna have like some linseed oil in your fucking balls or some shit?
I'm gonna fucking
might
inject
help.
CBD oil into my balls,
And
baby.
this is the guy who does like essential
You know-
lavender oils to combat the coronavirus.
No, you know what? Honestly, it was years ago when my boss was renovating this building and doing all this shit. The guy that was here doing the welding and built my balcony
He says,
was diagnosed with cancer. He was diagnosed with cancer while that was happening, and he was all about the like, I can just walk into the bush and get everything I need to cure myself. And he friended me on Facebook, and he's the kind of guy that like shares nothing but the most Alex Jones kind of crazy conspiracy type shit. And I eventually I unfollowed him completely because I was like, that's enough of this. And randomly in like a Facebook memory, like a year or so ago, he had a comment, and I was like, I clicked on his thing. And yeah, he died a couple of years ago from that cancer. So
Oh,
no,
So I
I would definitely
whack
go,
it,
but
whack it, EP.
I would basically I would exercise all available alternatives that are viable before going. Like I'm if I do get cancer, it's hopefully not going to be like tomorrow, and maybe some kind of breakthrough will happen because it's like that's going to be something like that. If somebody finally does come up with some viable cure for not just one kind of cancer, but cancer, and makes
Moral
cancer
story.
not a thing anymore. That is a thing that would be like, again, the whole getting off. So something needs to happen that changes the fucking world and kind of brings people together a little bit.
But in the meantime,
think.
moral story is get your prostate checked, boys.
Yeah, I can't.
Every month. Every month.
I mean,
Every
you don't
month.
Need to get it every month. That's a little extreme, but
Oh wait,
Listen
what?
here.
Oh, that's
Every
hard
month
for
once you pass the age of 80, I guess.
So
You're just gonna get done like a couple times a day, just
well,
just to be
I go to
sure.
My tailor checks my prostate too. I don't know what the hell that's to do with that.
That sounds like extracurricular activities.
So yeah,
Extracurricular activities.
you were
Bill
thanks for
Clinton
joining.
and William Grove,
What?
they
What?
get prostates checked all the time. They get their fingers fingered by the reptilians. And here's the thing.
The reptilians. Rectal?
The reptilians, and they have to get their essential oils rubbed on their ball sacks, and that's why they're not getting cancer. Rush Limbaugh recently just got cancer. Hillary Clinton is responsible for that. Bohemian Grove.
Oh, did you see that Rush Limbaugh got the fucking medal?
I
of
was
freedom?
I was just gonna say
What the
that whole fucking speech last night was the number of times that those fucking shills stood up and gave him a standing ovation made me sick to my stomach,
Well,
man.
those
That was
Shills,
gross.
Shills gave him a standing ovation in the Senate today.
But he
Oh,
was
it
You
was
can unwrap that
fuck.
medal and eat the chocolate, and he's still going to die soon.
It was so fucked. I've to be honest, I've never watched one before. I feel like I've watched part, but is it usually like the guy says one sentence
yes.
and then half the room is like,
Yes.
really? Because that's
Yes,
fucking
that's
retarded.
how-
I'm sorry to use that
well,
word,
I
but
mean,
It's a fucking joke. But
it
here's
was
the thing, he kept
so
talking about
dumb.
The administration, my administration. He wasn't talking about himself so much. He was talking about everybody in the party.
Well, and then like
Articles,
there's a couple there's articles that came out today that are like fact checking the speech, and basically every single statement that he was like applauded for was a lie. He's such a piece of shit. And then like when he's introducing people on the balcony, trying to be like, this black person did this black person did that, this like he's just trying, like he's such a
Pandering.
racist. He's trying to like it honestly made me like
Uncle
to,
Tom
like
number one, and here's Uncle Tom number two, and they
yeah.
they're good boys.
It was so fucked up. And then trying to like promote his Space Force by talking about some young 8th grade kid that
I love that. It's
Hey,
a fun-
hey,
Kill those Martian fucks.
Speaking of pieces of shit, Ashley, what were you gonna ask me?
I was gonna say,
Nice.
yeah. Thanks for joining, Ewart from Arkansas. What are you drinking?
Nothing now. I got back to my hotel, but I had a pseudo soup by Toppling Goliath.
Yep.
I had
what is that?
It's a famous pale ale. It's like it's fucking awesome.
Oh.
It has a dinosaur.
Ewart,
on
can
it,
you
right?
talk louder because we can barely hear you?
There's his response to that. That was perfect
Wow.
timing.
What
Wow.
beers did he buy for his road hookers? That's what I want to know.
They probably get the shelf turds kind of
I
specials.
want to know how he treats his road hookers.
I don't think he left on purpose. I think he actually dropped out.
It did seem
Yeah.
kind of random and sudden, but
There you go.
oh, there he is.
He would awkwardly set it up like, okay, ask me a question because when you ask, I'm going to drop out. So,
Yeah, no, he'd never do
Sorry.
that ever.
No, I sorry, I accidentally hit the button. I don't know. I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, your camera was on for a half a second there. Be careful, we might see your face.
I know. Fuck you.
Yeah, we almost saw Roxy and Fufu.
What?
so I've seen that beer
What?
before.
Lee has an app. Lee has an app. He knows all the road hookers, and they tell them who they're seeing and when. He knows the names of the road hookers in your room right now.
My only question for you, Ewart, I know you're not drinking anything yourself because you got to pace yourself because you're an old man. What beers do you buy for your road hookers when you're on the road? Like, how do you treat them? What level do you respect do you show them?
Budweiser.
Those fucking sluts, they just like fucking champagne. So I get them that baby fuzzy duck, whatever that shit is.
Baby duck.
They don't
Baby
like
duck.
champagne and beers.
Yeah, man. No, that Bambino, whatever that.
Bambino, yes.
Spumante.
Spumante Bambino. That's what they get. Those bitches. What?
Oh,
I like Spumante Bambino.
sounds like I could party with these whores.
When I was younger, actually, that was one of the random things that I tried, and I was like, "That's pretty good stuff."
Oh my god.
I can't deny it. It was decent.
With the
I'm
ass
Bambino
my
for a reason,
18-year-old
for
self.
I'm going to suggest that Yui has coronavirus from his Asian road hookers. Because he likes them freshly imported. He doesn't like the domestics.
He's in Arkansas. They don't allow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think they're too big on that.
Exactly.
Nice.
Coronavirus is not going to get to Arkansas for some time.
Like
Maybe the Michelob virus or the Tecate virus will show up, but you know,
the NASCAR virus.
Watch
Whatever
out.
Whatever redneck virus shows up, they'll have.
They still might allow products imported from Wish.com, so be careful.
Fuck the MAGA virus. Can we name the most deadly virus in the world MAGA virus?
Yeah, it already exists. It's called
Yeah. It basically is some kind of mental deficiency that's happening en masse down there, and that's a good name for it. Yeah,
It attacks the frontal lobe specifically.
like that whole impeachment trial was basically just a whole bunch. The United States government standing up and being like, "Hey, everybody, so we're on TV, and look at how corrupt we are. Look at how fucking corrupt we are. Enjoy it. We're not going to change at all."
Arnold just
That's
farted.
Basically what that was, and it was fucking disgusting, man.
The whole political system in the United
What?
States.
The machine. Oh.
But
The
a
whole
lot of it's
thing-
about the court. A lot of it's about the court of public opinion too. So let's not be. You know, it's kind of like OJ, right? He got off the first time. But
Yeah, but here there was so much just fucking like that they wouldn't let the witnesses like the Republicans basically did everything they could to not let this be a fair fucking trial, and it was just a sham. It was a complete and utter sham of a fucking government proceeding. It was gross. It was fucking gross.
of course.
But again, what else would you expect from the current regime?
Yeah, you really can't. I mean,
It's fucked up.
But the Dems got a lot of work to do because he could get reelected.
he is going to get reelected because, like, I don't know.
Well, I thought the Iowa caucus thing. Bernie actually came out like Joe Biden. I'm so happy that he got like fucking 15 or something percent. Like Joe Biden is the most blatant example of someone who needs to stop doing what they're doing and be put in a home that I've ever seen in my life. Well, then him and Trump is probably like they're same level kind of thing. They both say things like Trump can't spell, he can't fucking talk. He's just they have to placate him and all this. Like he's a baby. He's a baby old man that's somehow the president of the biggest superpower on the planet. That makes no sense in the world. But Bernie Sanders actually got a decent amount of support, and if he becomes the nomination, I feel like that the young people in the country, the people that actually aren't mentally fucked in the head and like don't have this built-in, just unbelievably unshakable, we are the white people of this country and we unfairly lost that fucking war years and years ago. Like the amount of racism that still rabidly exists in that country is flat out abominable, and just it shouldn't exist these days.
Bernie should be a VP. He's too old to be president.
You say that, but I don't know. As far as old people go, his fucking mind is still on point. He is.
But why does he have to leave? Why can't he just be? He's got great ideas. He's a great advocate. He's a great.
You know what?
supporter of,
If him and Elizabeth Warren can get over, like they've had some kind of squabble type stuff happen. I've seen. If she gets it and he's her vibe, I'd be okay with that, or vice versa. I
it should be.
I feel like Bernie's the one though. I feel like Bernie as the president though, he's the one, even though he's older, he's the one that would fucking potentially make some real. Well, again, depending on the way things were, like because Obama
will probably die within 3 years. I'm just saying, like,
well, because Obama, yes and no.
He's almost 80.
Yeah, but the people these days live to be like 103 with a buddy that
Not all of them do.
actor guy.
No,
Again,
no,
Bernie is in
For rare
good
cases,
health.
they live to be at 103.
I don't know.
he
Like,
just
it
had
would
a
be
heart
nice.
attack a couple years ago.
It'd be nice to see somebody like young. You know, like John. What was
You
that
like-
fucking
you
Kennedy?
like
Kennedy.
Pete
He was
Buttigieg.
young, wasn't he? What was Kennedy's age
Buttigieg.
years ago? He was super young. Then I won't deny that. But again, Bernie Sanders is the one that's running right now. He's got like for his age, the energy that he puts forth in his speeches and shit. Like I feel like he's old, but he would maybe, hopefully, actually fucking make some kind of a goddamn change.
Who are you talking about?
Bernie Sanders.
Fuck. You know, here's the thing.
It depends, though. Like I was going to say before, when Obama was
You're
when
talking fast enough, yeah, Ashley.
Sorry,
otherwise you
sorry,
start talking
sorry.
again.
Shut up, Red.
Nick, I'm sorry. Fuck.
He would never win an election against Trump. There is
Don't be a
no
dick
one
about it, I'm
on
sorry.
the Dem side right now that would actually win an election against Trump. And the fact is because none of them have a strong enough personality. And from stealing
No.
Paul here, no one's bombastic enough to fucking.
The only hope the Democrats have is that two of the leading candidates on this side choose to be like, okay, one's president, one's vice president candidate. You team up. That's the only way that you can actually Warren and Sanders.
No. Like I just said, Bernie,
Probably
if he
won't do
gets the
that.
nomination, the young people of the country that fucking aren't stupid and brainwashed, if they actually come forward and they're like, we're going to fucking do this,
You're gonna.
Bernie could win in a landslide, man. But again, like I was going to say, the whole issue is Obama was president, but the Republicans had the majority in the fucking House or whatever the shit it was, and they didn't let him pass a goddamn thing. Trump is like the opposite thing. Well, it was the opposite thing until recently, and now they're able to block him and do the impeachment thing and all this shit. But yeah, if Bernie wins and also gets the whole Democratic thing going on that side, then a bunch of change can happen. But regardless of who gets on the Democratic side, if Republicans get all this other stuff and they can stop it, it could just be the whole fucking Obama thing over again. And I hope that doesn't happen.
An old white guy is not going to beat Trump.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, exactly.
I want to see it happen. I want to see it come to
Did you guys see
fruition,
the
and I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it.
Did you
'Cause
see
it
the
just-
movie Dick? Did you see the movie Dick?
I
Dick
don't
Cheney.
think so. No, I didn't.
So-
No, I heard it was good.
Watch that movie. Watch the movie. It's a perfect example of how a guy who is Dick Cheney, who's actually ran the shit. So he had the brains. He had the strategy. He's the guy. Bush was a face. He was a puppet. That's what Joe Buttigieg would be. Is it Joe? Right? The young guy, Pete Buttigieg.
Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah,
The young guy from Indiana, right?
Yeah.
He's the face. Elizabeth Warren is too shrill to be popular. People don't like her personality. But Pete is and
Buttigieg.
you get a young guy
Buttigieg.
with energy who's gonna do the public circuit, who's gonna be the face of the country, just like a Macron, just like a Trudeau. But you have people behind them that actually pull the strings and do the fucking work. And that's the Bernies. That's the Dick Cheneys. Those are the guys that do the fucking work.
I like that. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
That's why that guy behind Trump, Pence, is the fucking devil. He is scarier than Trump if he was ever to be like the head. Because
if Trump was removed, then the whole let's remove all the rights from the gay people thing would no abortions for anybody ever, and it could just be really, really well. Even Trump in his fucking speech, there's a whole lot of God and stuff in that speech, and that's not what the government is supposed to be
The
about.
evangelical vote.
Here's the thing,
it's
Trump doesn't give a shit about that. He's not religious one way or the other. He just knows that that's what moves the needle. And Steve,
Yeah.
And he doesn't
whether
give
or
a shit about
he's running
guns
for
either.
vice or not.
And to your point, I'll agree. As long as somebody fucking can beat him and get him the fuck out of there and actually start to make things better in this third world, first world country that still uses the imperial system that makes no sense, still has no universal health care, and for some reason thinks a wall is going to stop all of the 90% of the contraband that comes across that southern border is under the tunnels, over the air, and on the boats.
That Trump does is that it's marketing. He's pandering. He's making you think that he can use a wall to block.
Well, that's
it
the
won't work.
thing.
I mean, it won't work. I'm just saying
Hopefully, the American people
think he's going to make him. He's making a difference.
Hopefully, the Americans will not I don't know, something will happen and they'll wake up and collectively be like, wow,
I just want to change the
we're
subject
all
to say that-
falling for the biggest scam in the world. Sorry, Nick.
Hey,
I
that
apologize.
the extra brand chips, these are markedly improved since the time I had them last May up at the well. and
Nick,
Piss.
what are you doing?
Changing the subject.
Nick, how's your biking been going, Nick?
Obviously closed for the winter.
Steve
So
Buttigieg
let's
never gonna
just
get voted because he's gay. I'm just gonna say.
I want to see snowshoes.
There it is.
You know what? I want to Nick going out into the bush in the bush, the snowshoes and a fucking camera, get some awesome winter pictures. Just like
I really could go for some bush in the winter.
also exercise. That's good. That's good.
Hey, Nick,
Unless
you've got
unless you're
tickets
just
to
sitting there and she's like
I
up
would
and down
send you
doing all
the
the work.
biggest beer meal of your life.
What?
Well, what was the condition there? I missed it.
A picture of a lynx, because I figure he lives up in the wilderness somewhere.
Oh, there you go.
And I've
They
never
are
seen
very
it.
they are very
Beautiful.
elusive, and I like that.
Then
That'd
I'll
be
get your
cool.
ass. So they're boxes.
Unless the picture is like recovered from Nick's SD card as like one of the last things he saw before the lynx killed him. That'd be-
Nick's STD card.
in that case, Nick,
Fucking corpse.
your parents will get so much free beer from you as a condolence thing.
If Nick got killed by a lynx, that would be a terrible.
Yeah, that would be pretty sad.
like
that'd
that's
be
not even a
pathetic as
cougar.
fuck.
That's a lynx.
They're not
Lynx
big
is
animals.
Dude, a lynx can take down a fucking deer, man. Like
yeah.
if you don't have a weapon on you of some kind, and it gets a fucking if it gets a claw at the right
Wait.
spot, your
Dude,
throat's torn
Have
open.
you met Nick? Have you
Deer
met Nick,
don't-
bitch?
Deers
I've
don't have
known, man.
opposable thumbs. We do. We win.
Yeah, deer are stupid.
Also, Nick
They're
could
still
take
a
down
big
deer, too.
creature.
Yeah, but
It's
they're
not-
big.
it's not-
They're big walking meat sacks with no opposable thumbs. Like that's.
Well,
what it
again,
says.
like the lynx is a fucking little. What they're like, at least a cup 20, 30 pounds of
You can
Yeah.
kick a
solid
lynx in
muscle
the
and
face.
claws and fucking.
Okay.
If you can, that's like saying
I-
you're,
I
every time.
definitely
That's like saying
on
a,
its toes.
can.
it's like saying that a pit bull can't kill a person. Pit bulls kill people fucking all the time, and they don't have the claws and the fucking other stuff a lynx has. Like a lynx could
Pitbulls
fucking
are
totally
way
kill a
more
person.
vicious than lynx.
Oh,
Totally.
A lynx is a large house cat. You'd have to be an elderly
A
person.
lynx is a large house cat. Are
It
you
is a large
fucking.
house cat.
You are hilarious.
Okay, if,
I
if,
think
if a
that'd be
lynx
funny
was
if
a
Redford's
disease,
kitten killed him.
it would be coronavirus, and a cougar would be Ebola. Okay, unless you're weak, young,
No.
or old, you're not going to die from a lynx attack. A
Again,
cougar
you-
attack, you're gonna you.
All I said, man, if that lynx takes a fucking jumps at you and takes a swipe at your fucking throat in the right place, you're fucking dead.
Yeah,
Instantly.
exactly. It's a
Cheers, Eric.
Yeah.
3%
Like, it-
chance of death, 3% mortality rate, coronavirus. Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers, Eric.
Well, again, like the amount of fucking like the amount of
God damn it,
human
shut up,
lynx
Richard.
attacks is like 0. Nick, I'm gonna slap you in your goddamn dick.
Is that me chirping? Who's chirping?
Where
right
does Redford
I don't know,
get
I
so
heard it,
upset
though.
because Nick
Doesn't
can't
matter.
get killed by a cat. Nick is invincible. You got to understand. Nick could take down a deer. I heard that Nick could take down a cougar, no problem.
Even saying you could take down a deer, if that
Yeah,
deer
the
comes up
cougar-
to you and fucking rears up and
Which
beats you in the
bar?
face,
Go down on a cougar. What bar are you talking about?
Like, do you realize that
Rock-
lynx
Rock
don't get
Mississauga.
bigger than 40 pounds? Like,
40 pounds of claws and muscle coming at you in fucking a fury.
this ain't
Like,
a Wolverine, dude.
Again, if it gets the fucking upper hand or something and gets that one swipe, I'm not saying you're always going to lose, but I'm just saying
they're not Freddy Krueger.
they kill deer, dude. They bring down deer and shit. Lynx are not a fucking thing to be fucked with. I wouldn't fuck with one.
It probably hurt.
Like,
Canada lynx, they only go out to 31 pounds.
again, that's 30 pounds.
Sorry.
Your average house cat, your average house cat is like not even 10 pounds. This is 3 times bigger than that. And your average house cat, if you're like me playing with my cat over here, if he randomly gets a swipe in, he can fucking tear my arm up pretty good. Imagine that fucking scaled up like 4 times. You'd rip your fucking arm open.
My mom's
That's all I'm
cats
saying.
my mom's cats are 24 pounds and 20 pounds each, so they can definitely get a lot bigger than 10 pounds.
Well, no, those are not average house cats, are they?
They're big boys.
Like that, yeah, those are big cats. Like I want to say, like my cats I've had throughout my life make maybe 10, 12 or something like that. But Again, it's like triple that. That's a creature that, again, you might fucking win, but if it gets you in the right spot, it's gonna fucking destroy you. You never know.
The size of a lynx is going to look at me and think I'm a much bigger creature and not try to not fuck with me.
But yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
If I'm really encroaching
Listen,
into territory,
listen.
it'll probably attack.
Yeah,
But-
if it's got babies or something, but I'll give you that. Like,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna fuck with
Hold on.
it's gonna see you and be like
I
human.
don't care if
Nick
I'm
out
just
of
a
the
sack of
house.
shit.
You were.
Yeah, no,
I'm
good
taking
point.
it
You're-
is.
Hold on. You were. Would you mind muting yourself for like 1 second?
Yeah, you're making clicky sounds.
He's
It's totally coming from
texting
him.
road hookers.
Yeah, your mic's open and
What the fuck?
it's clicking.
Are you eating or something? Something's weird.
No, I'm not. No, I hear Stag, but when I mute it, I don't hear it. It's weird.
Yeah, it seems to be. We're pretty sure it's coming from you.
We don't
It's
want you to leave.
Even when you're not talking, we can see like the kind of. I can see the thing coming around like your little icon there, as if you're talking.
If it's
So-
just easy for you to mute yourself while you're not talking.
Well,
Just do that.
well, I'm also trying to talk, but I can't get a fucking word in. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. Redbeard could wish he'd had a mute button.
Like you are fucking ridiculous, Redbeard.
Oh, you're-
Like a lynx could kill a small child or baby, but the idea that a lynx would be able to take down a full-grown human being is just beyond fucking ridiculous.
I don't think so.
Can I just throw something
I don't
out
think so.
there?
They don't get bigger
No.
than a small dog.
I don't like to normally take Redbeard's side, but there was a story a few years ago how a beaver killed a dude. So I mean, it's possible.
If you're stupid, you get killed by a
taking
beaver.
down many men.
Again, like one and a cat, like depending on what they do, like you said, the whole cougar thing. Cougars, 100% will like stalk you. You won't even know they're there until they jump
I've
on
been
you and break the
stalked
back
by
of your neck.
cougars before, I
100%.
know this.
Cougar will kill
Okay,
you.
yeah, like they. But again, I read it in the National. Remember the National Geographic had the
You were
drama in real life section. This lady in BC somewhere, she somehow like fought this cougar off. This lady. So again, like a cougar can fuck you up, but at the same time, just like I'm not Lee. I'm not saying a lynx is going to kill everybody in the world. I'm just saying there's no guarantee. You're a pretty big guy. You're like a long Nixon. You're a fucking bigger guy. Me, I'm a fucking little skinny nothing, man. If the lynx hit me in the wrong spot, I would bleed out within minutes. That's all I'm saying, man.
Yeah,
You're fucking 7 feet tall. The lynx couldn't reach you.
3% chance.
It could jump
the
over
lynx
my
will
head,
jump
dude.
up
Lynx-
and rip your throat out.
You never know. That's all I'm saying, dude. And again, or if I tried to grab it, if I tried to grab it and it got me in the fucking wrists or something, there's arteries all over the human body, man, and cat claws are sharp. That's all I'm saying.
They're not gonna dig into your femoral artery and make you bleed out, dude. I'm sorry.
You never know, man. It's a fucking cat fighting me. If it's a cat fighting me and it's like I die or it dies, it's gonna be fucking vicious as fuck.
This is the difference.
Yes, we're still
between
talking about this, Ewart.
It's
this
not
is the
stopping.
difference. This is a difference between possibility and probability. The possibility is there. It's possible that are fucking unicorns who are pink flying around Saturn right now. It's possible. It's
No,
fully
no,
possible.
no.
Probability,
no.
not so much. Not so much.
See, I thought you were going to say
Murdering
something
you?
possible
Mad,
that
bro.
was actually kind of possible, but no, you went too far.
A lynx murdering you? Not so much. Not so much probable.
Possible.
Anything is possible. Anything is possible. If you are honest with yourself.
That's all I'm saying. You never know.
Yes, but probability weighs
I won't-
into that.
I'm
and the
not arguing
probability
that.
of a lynx
probability
killing
is low.
person.
It's low. It's
You're-
not high.
And you're
I still
trying
wouldn't-
with your histrionics, you're trying to make it sound like
No.
the lynxes are out there and they're
No,
wiping
I'm
out
not.
the
I'm,
humans.
I'm basically saying I wouldn't fuck with one myself because there's a chance you could fucking kill me. That's all I'm basically
You're
saying.
more likely to
This is
fall
the
off
best
a cliff
conversation
while
ever.
hiking, looking for a lynx than you are to
Oh,
get
for sure. Lynx, they're very, very elusive. Going back to the whole like
There's a
Nick
higher
Cage
chance
war.
some little kid on a bicycle is going to kill me.
This is
Although
awesome.
at the same time, I fell off the fucking roof of my place the other day and somehow came awake with no
Yeah,
injury.
so let's
whatsoever.
be honest. There's a higher chance that Redbeard will be killed by a squirrel or something.
it's highly likelihood that he'll kill himself through a freak accident for being a dumbass. There you go.
If you can actually believe it, I'm reading a thread right now where this exact same conversation played out, but just in a forum.
That's great.
I believe it. I believe it. 'Cause
Can a
again, like,
lynx kill a healthy adult human?
Possibly. That's all I'm saying. I'm not being like probably. Again, Lee, I agree with you. It's not gonna always like. You never know, man. You never know.
If that adult
And-
human is stoned out of his gourd
I've
And
been
it's like-
scratched. I've been
Which
scratched. I've been scratched to fuck by a small kitten. If I ramp that up to that size, it could fuck you up, man.
On his knees, and he's holding his throat out like he's lifting his beard and going, "Here you go, Lynx. Take a shot."
I wonder if I can.
I do have a bit of protection there. I'll give you that. It's a valid point.
Exactly.
That's one of the reasons I haven't. Like, I want to give Oreo like a haircut, but I want to wait till him and the kitten get along more. Because currently, if the kitten attacks the fuck out of him, she's not gonna. He can't get through the hair. Like, there's not gonna do anything to Oreo. So
You need to let fucking Oreo man up. Like,
I
Orio's too much of a fucking pussy, and you need to let
there's-
the cat scratch the fuck out of him. Oreo gets mad, and Orio's like, you know what, fuck you, and smacks the cat, and the cat learns its lesson.
again, Oreo. I say, yeah, Oreo has every opportunity to man up, but he's just like, there's a small, tiny animal next to me. I better move because it's terrifying, and he's just the biggest little bitch in the world, man. He really is.
Do we just got shared this picture of this ginger freak like hugging a fucking lynx? Like what the?
No, that was me. I was just putting it in for size. So that's
Well,
Yeah,
it's
and that's,
again,
a,
like,
big,
there's-
that's a big one there. That's a big one.
If I found a baby cougar in the wild and I could raise it as my own, that's like my dream animal pet kind of thing. I would love to have a cougar as a pet. That'd be the most amazing thing ever.
maybe
And I've
that's
seen
just
like
how-
YouTube videos and stuff like people have adopted them,
They'll
and
fucking kill you.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
fucking.
You know what's better?
That's big enough, man. If that got the right grip on you or the right fucking hit, they've got huge fucking paws with huge claws in them. It would
but-
rip your fucking face off.
They're
They
they're
don't-
not Goro from Mortal Kombat. They're
I didn't say they're Goro. I mean they're not literally gonna rip your face off. They're gonna fuck you up, man.
Blanca
saying.
in Mortal Kombat.
God damn you.
they don't have the capability to think tactics. They come at you if they're desperate for
Matt,
food.
bro.
They don't have the ability to think.
Big tag. Okay, hold on.
That was a great line right there. I love that.
Okay.
That was great.
As invigorating as this conversation is, I think some of you guys have watched this. Has anyone watched the entire Dracula series?
I watched the first 2 episodes.
Okay.
Series?
Yeah,
Bram
there's like-
Stoker Dracula?
No,
It's
no.
on Netflix. Yeah,
It's on
3
Netflix.
episodes.
But like each episode's like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's like a mini movie
I
thing.
saw a Facebook post with like a billboard
Yes.
that was really well done. Where like as it got dark, the shadows made the fucking face. It was a really impressive billboard, but that's all I didn't even know the show was a thing until I saw that billboard thing.
Okay, so no one here has watched all 3 episodes. Okay.
No,
Lee, you'll have to watch it because I was enjoying it. I did enjoy it, but I needed to talk to someone who's watched episode 3 because it gets a lot different in 3 than it did in 1 and 2.
okay, well, I'll get back.
Is
to
there
you on that.
nudity?
Is the
No.
series is the first season only 3 episodes?
Yeah,
Then I will watch that. And
It's just like
If
a mini series. It's
It's
a mini
like-
series, and there's 3 episodes, an hour and a half.
it sounds kind of like Sherlock when it first came out. Like every episode was almost like a small
Well,
movie.
when you know it, the people responsible for Sherlock made this.
That's not surprising to me at all, actually, considering
Oh,
that.
really?
And it's definitely better than Sherlock, which is garbage.
I never watched the last season of it, but I quite enjoyed the first couple seasons of it. I thought it was a really interesting modern take
Yeah,
on it.
I
And
thought
I just
it was good. I don't know. Did they ever I don't know if they ever created a season after because I stopped watching it when there was like, hey, we're gonna send Sherlock away, and then oh no, Moriarty's back. We better bring him back, and that was the season finale. I don't know. Did they ever make a season after that?
they made one more
Yeah,
season, I
they
believe, after that. I never watched it. I think I have it downloaded. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Which again,
it's one
I-
of those shows, I enjoyed it when I watched it, but I was just never that motivated to go back to watch further episodes.
Again, it's a commitment because like every episode's like a fucking small movie. It's yeah.
The showrunner is Stephen Moffat, and they keep giving him all these like classic properties to make versions of. So he's done like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He did a few like seasons of Doctor Who, and he did Dracula, and he did Sherlock.
Okay, that's so he's kind of got this is like his thing. That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah,
Into that, like he maybe he'll remake the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he
Did
just
you-
goes away. Honestly, I don't like
Oh.
his work all that much.
Oh, I thought you were going to be because because the league was perfect as it was, or something.
No. I would definitely be like down for like a good adaptation of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I don't think Stephen Moffat can fucking hack it worth his
Fair
fucking
enough.
salt. So.
'Cause,
But,
I don't hate that movie as much as some people do, but it was Sean Connery when like past his prime when he was doing these movies that he didn't know what the fuck was going on. It was not a really great experience. Like he could have been fucking Gandalf. He could have been Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, but he couldn't. How can you not understand the script? It's Lord of the Rings. How? That didn't make any sense to me. There's a couple movies that he passed on. I think there was another one.
Maybe
He could have been something else.
Maybe because Sean Connery isn't that smart.
I think it might have wasn't it somebody else could have been Morpheus in the Matrix, I think, but I can't think of who it was. I don't think it was Sean Connery.
Come on.
Samuel L. Jackson could have been more.
No.
I love that.
Again, like, Sean Connery in his prime, prime, James Bond and shit like that. Like Sean Connery he was a pretty good actor. Even though The Hunt for Red October was
I'm
like
not saying he's a bad
all these Sean Connery, the world's first Scottish Russian person.
Oh, I mean, he made like that. That's like a later day fucking joke about his career. It's like every actor he did was Scottish, no matter. What.
Yeah, he never like other actors nowadays. They like you hear them like one of the first time I ever heard
Scottish.
the first time I ever heard Henry Cavill, because I saw him in like Man of Steel was the first thing I ever saw him in.
Yeah,
and then you see him talk in real life, and he's fucking English. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean,
like a lot of people these days. Yeah.
I mean, Sean Connery in Highlander, he's supposed to be like he's an immortal. He's been around forever. He wasn't even Spanish. He was supposed to be like an Egyptian who then was like went to the fucking like Spanish court or whatever, and it's like. And it's like, God damn it, he's Scottish. Like he's Scottish.
That's hilarious. Even Lee didn't care about. I think I talked about this, and I still feel like you should watch the movie if you haven't yet, Lee, just because it's aside from the car aspect, it's just great acting. The Ford versus Ferrari movie, but in that movie, I don't know if it's. I think is Christian Bale like by default English accent or American accent.
No,
accent English.
Yeah, he's English.
He's British.
Okay, because in this movie, I feel like it's one of the first times I ever maybe it's just his normal accent. Because in this movie, he is like a British person, I think, and it's a very. I like watching like American Psycho and Batman and fucking other random shit. It's almost always him playing like a perfect American fucking accent. And
well,
it's just,
I mean, and Batman's not an accent. It's, where's Harvington?
Well, when he's Bruce Wayne, like one of the best lines. I don't know if you guys watch the Honest Trailers series on YouTube, but one of the ones is for like one of the Batman movies, and it starts out with like as we follow Batman and his continuing battle with throat cancer. It was really good, really good.
Give me my chemotherapy, Joker.
Because that was like those movies, like the third one, the whole Bane thing. I didn't really like the way that Bane was overall done, but the movie series, those three movies as a whole, were the most realistic adaptation of a Batman thing that's ever been done. But it's his fucking voice, though, like the Batman voice was so unnecessarily over the top.
Well, but you want to disguise your voice so people don't recognize you.
Yeah, but not like
there's
a movie. What was it a movie or a Batman movie or something where he had like a digitizer thing built in?
It's the Justice League movies.
Is that because that worked better in my opinion?
Which is one of the best things out of those movies is that yes, here's what Batman would actually do. He wouldn't like kill his throat making a fake voice. He would he's a genius. He would just make a fucking little thing that changes his voice so no one recognizes him.
So he saw one of the Bat Metal videos on YouTube and was like, I should emulate that voice.
Yeah. So I mean, I actually really like Ben Affleck's Batman. I'm sorry that he got the SADS and decided I don't want to do it anymore.
Like I said, aside from the whole fucking Jesse Eisenberg being a weird Lex Luthor and the fucking
terrible.
That one scene, that fucking Martha scene, man. That movie, if those two things were changed, that movie, I feel like the memes and everything that came from that just kind of drove it down. That wouldn't have happened, and like it was again, like I thought Ben Affleck was a great fucking Batman. He really was. He played it more along the lines of, like, if you ever saw the animated, the 2-part Return of the Dark Knight, whatever it was called. Yeah. It's more like that. He did it fucking great.
Yeah, no, he's playing an older Batman is what he's doing in those films. And the biggest problem with those Justice League films is they didn't want to stretch out and develop like the Marvel Universe did. They wanted to like do everything in like 2 or 3 films, which is just a big mistake because no one is like, how am I supposed to give a fuck about these characters if
they're not developed at all?
Yeah, if you're just compacting all this shit into like 3 films, and it sucked. And
Justice League kind of felt like it was like the Cyborg movie and his friends. Like he was kind of the main story focus that I got out of it, like his whole story, and then him meeting these people and then becoming. But again, like the Wonder Woman movie should have came out beforehand. Aquaman should have came up. Yeah. They should have done all these things. Like the Marvel did that right, introducing people kind of a little bit here and there. It was Batman vs Superman, that one scene where Bruce Wayne's looking at the thing, and it's like Aquaman, Wonder Woman, fucking in his face, the Flash, and it's like that's their intro for the next movie. It's like that's how you're gonna do it.
Batman vs Superman should have been one of your last movies in like your first phase of the DC universe or whatever, because that's an older story. Like if you take that from the Frank Miller fucking story of Dark Knight Returns or whatever the fuck it is, that's
near the end of
later where Superman is like this gung-ho Boy Scout who's like taking orders from Ronald Reagan, and Batman is like this vigilante underground who is like fighting a good fight for what it's worth, and that's like these 2 old men fucking fighting in the end. Like that's
anybody here hasn't seen though that 2-part fucking animated movie thing? Really good. The whole DC animated universe thing they got going on right now.
Oh, it's way better.
Aside from a couple little, it's basically what the live action shit kind of should have been. It's so much better. It's crazy.
Again, it develops stories. Okay, like it develops stories. Here's the big thing with movies: do you have a story to tell, or are you just trying to actually just make money? Because these comics are, and I'm going to say most comics usually have a story to tell, because they're not big blockbusters looking to make money. So then when they adapt them in an animated form, unless they fuck up, they're usually pretty good. Whereas the DC universe, they haven't fucking earned shit. They're just trying to make money. They're trying to emulate the Marvel universe. And the only ones that are actually good are the ones that are sort of offshoots. Like I've heard Shazam is good. I haven't seen it, but
Shazam's really good, actually.
Wonder Woman is okay. Like the Aquaman apparently is decent, but the big ones, the ones that are trying to really get you in, the Batman, Superman ones, I thought I didn't mind Henry Cavill as Superman. I thought Ben Affleck could have been an amazing Batman. I thought he actually nailed one thing where no other Batman has nailed, and that's Bruce Wayne. No one else has done a good Bruce Wayne, and I think he did. It's unfortunate that his potential got cut short, because I think he could have actually been really good.
Yeah. I thought Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne was pretty good, but I'll give you Ben Affleck though. He did overall. He did a great job, and it sucks that people made him like cry and kind of go away. Like they hurt his feelings that bad that he's like, you know what, I'm done with this fucking shit.
But you know what?
That makes me sad.
It's the whole DC universe was underbaked. Like I think Jared Leto potentially could have been a good Joker. I don't think he did very well in the Suicide Squad, but I think he had potential. And then he was gone. Then he was gone for now. I don't know. Is Joaquin Phoenix, is he the new Joker, or is that
I doubt it.
One off and now they're going to get another Joker? I don't know. Like that's.
Well, I think they're doing a sequel to that Joker film.
Well, they're doing.
They said they would never. He made an awesome. He's an awesome Joker, but there's
plans there was no plans for Joaquin Phoenix to do, but because the movie was successful and Joaquin expressed interest in doing it, they're going to do one apparently.
Yeah,
but I mean,
like the whole story, like it's like in that movie. Joaquin Phoenix is like, he looks like he's at least 40 years old. Let's give him that. Like that, maybe give him 40.
And Batman.
Bruce Wayne was like what, maybe 12, 13 years old when he did the whole smiley face thing. Like still, so when that whole thing,
it's 20 years before Bruce Wayne to be Batman. So it's just like how old is the Joker? You know, 60.
Like, it'll be interesting. Like if they don't really if they just make it kind of a direct sequel, and Batman still isn't Batman, they maybe give a scene here or there with showing that like Bruce Wayne is still around.
They're not going to
something.
do that.
That would be the way I'd do it, because again, it just integrating. Or like, what's the new guy, the Twilight guy? I don't know his name. Edward, is it Edward something? New Batman.
I can't remember, but
Yeah, like that. If that's good, then will they try to merge those? Kind of. I don't know how that's.
I don't think they will. I think they'll keep. I think they'll keep the Joker and the sequel. I think they'll keep that separate from.
Yeah.
Like there's not really a DC universe anymore. Like they've kind of decided we're just gonna do like stories about our characters. And
it's sad. It's sad. It has potential to be cool because like just one shot movies can be great, but at the same time, just seeing what Marvel's done and knowing what, like I've you've seen the Justice League cartoon. I imagine you've probably seen it recently. Like just knowing what kind of could have been. Like imagine some of those Justice League 5-part episodes being put together into a live action movie or something like that. Like there's so much awesome potential for that, but Warner Brothers is just like, nah, we don't know how to really do any of that because we suck or something.
They're making weird decisions. I don't understand why they're doing it, but I mean, they'll throw so much money away on these bad ideas when they're not only their animated stuff, but their live TV stuff is just like heads above everything else they're doing. So
it doesn't make any sense at all. Who's beefing?
Nick, stop that, Nick. Stop it.
Is that what that is? I didn't know the name of it.
Yes.
Thank you, Yurt. This is Yurt's fault.
So okay, I've seen this thing many times. I don't think I've ever been explained exactly what. Can you update it?
No, there's no updating.
You can add a limited number of beers in it yourself if you so desire. But the Beer Master is the definitive from the future version of what beer is and what the ratings are for beers. The Beer Master actually comes from 2523 from the future. It came back to us in limited numbers and it is spread out. And some of us are the lucky few to have it. And this tells us what beers still exist in that day and what their ratings are. And you can add 1 or 2, 3 more beers or something into it in its limited memory because it's just not going to tolerate your indulgence. Because
at what point between now and then did the war happen where they completely eradicated all records of all decent select button sounds, and then they came up with that fucking noise?
It's a retro thing, dude. It's like the explanation for Star Trek, the original series, when they did that Deep Space Nine episode where they went back to Trouble with Tribbles. It's like, oh, I love this retro stuff that they had in their starships at that point. It's that kind of explanation. It's like it's a cute retro thing. It's just that early 1990s retro vibe.
The Brewmaster doesn't know about Murphy's.
Yeah, because Murphy's doesn't exist in 2523. The only beers in the Brewmaster are beers that still exist in 2523.
The only beers from Moosehead. The only beers from Moosehead the Brewmaster knows is Alpine Lager and Moosehead Lager.
Yeah, that's all they make.
Do you know why they changed the label of that can?
Oh, some we're
dim
still live,
right?
Some highly insensitive material that may have been on their cans that degenerated ladies, and it was inappropriate.
What beer is this, and what was on the label?
Actually, send me
Naughty Neighbor. It used to have
I'll be more than happy to send.
It was an inappropriately scantily clad blonde lady.
You saw side boob. I don't know what the big deal is.
Highly controversial. I mean, Nine Locks.
Every time I saw it.
Nine Locks here in Nova Scotia has their
controversial. Boob is awesome.
Here's the thing. Nine Locks here in Nova Scotia, there was a big stink for a little while. They had their Dirty Blonde. No, like, blonde woman on the can at all. The artwork is like, throughout their entire cans, basically same artwork, kind of a different color scheme depending on the beer, whatever, right? nothing that hinted towards like a slutty blonde woman who fucks somebody or anything like that. But someone made a stink. Oh, the term "dirty blonde" definitely means that this beer is for whores, and it's the beer about whores who fuck people, and it's like that's more on you, honestly. If that's what
Did
you
you say
think.
whores fuck people?
It's the same people who complained about the halftime show at the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
That was a wonderful amount of ass jiggling.
And,
Greg,
like-
are these
like-
new headphones you're wearing right now?
Not wrong.
Yeah, my wife got them. They're nice Bluetooth headphones, and they're very clear, very nice. They have a lot of good battery life. I highly recommend them.
And you look cool wearing them.
Oh, thank you,
look
thank you,
Like a
good sir.
racist wearing.
You look like you're from Toronto.
He is from Toronto.
Yeah,
But
sorry,
like
sorry,
Nine
Nick, I
Locks,
don't have black headphones.
Oh, shut up.
Nine Locks got like a lot of shit for like a couple months from people. Like there was this, little bit of a internet cancel culture campaign to try to get them to change the name of their beer and shit. Nine Locks is like, fuck you, we're not doing it.
Does anyone remember? I don't remember if this was a Toronto thing or where it was in Canada, but Earl's Restaurant, they had urinals that were shaped like women. Well, they were shaped like mouths that had lipstick on them, so they potentially could have been women's mouths. They also could have been
Inappropriate. Terribly
They also could have been
inappropriate.
LGBT.
Yeah.
And
I
then
don't
people were
condone
very
that.
offended. People were very offended because men were apparently peeing in women's mouths, and this was inappropriate. And it's like, well, you know what? It's a thing. And now you're being discriminatory about maybe people who enjoy peeing in women's mouths and the women that enjoy having pee in their mouths because they do
That's
exist.
true. It's true. But I mean, at the same time, it's like it sounds like this is kind of a place where if you're the sort of person who goes there, you already know what to expect. Like it's like it feels like someone who's going there and runs into that is looking to be offended by something. It's like, do you not know what you're getting into when you go to this place from beforehand?
You know what? My personal end of the spectrum, I'm probably all over the spectrum for people's things. Now, Nick likes to make fun of me that I'm a huge racist. I'm actually not. I actually think people who are racist, and no, I'm not even going to say racist. I think people who are bigots in general are kind of assholes. That being said, I do think everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But on the end of the spectrum, I fucking hate SJWs. If you're one of those people that gets fucking offended by anything, yes, you're offended. You're entitled to your own opinion. But I feel in that case, I should be entitled to kick you in the face because you know what?
Easy there, Karen.
You know what? Be offended all you fucking want, but keep it to yourself. Like, there's a lot of things I don't fucking like. Like every time I see a woman in a Canada Goose outfit, I want to call her a cunt and punch her in the face. I don't do it because it's not appropriate culturally. So like, just leave it alone.
I gotta say, like, I'm rarely offended by anything, but when I am, I don't expect people to fucking change the world because I'm offended by something.
Well, and that's exactly. I think that's exactly, and you actually put it much better than I did. Is that everyone's entitled to be offended by anything? Like for instance, I know a lot of people I know people who are vegetarian/vegan, and they just live their lives. They do their own thing, and you eat what you eat, we eat what we eat. Whereas I also know other people who are militant vegans who they get offended by the fact that you're eating meat. It's like, well, I mean, listen, I understand, and actually, I sort of sympathize with vegans to an extent because I love animals, but at the same time, I love a hamburger even more. So, what are you gonna do?
And a lot of times, like people who get so vehemently offended by things, they won't provide a rational argument. They just want to yell at you and scream at you. And it's like, if you have a problem with something, I think, like if you have a problem with something I say, let's have a discussion about it. But if you're just going to like, oh, you're a racist, you're a bigot, whatever, and I'm going to get all my friends and we're going to like cancel you on fucking Twitter and like kick you out of YouTube and shit. Like you're a piece of shit. Like you're no better than the fucking people you hate. Honestly, like
yeah, pretty much.
You're scum. You're scum. Like if you can't have a discussion like a rational adult, instead you're much more interested in like internet popularity points, and you're interested in having like a big internet group backing you up and like canceling people and getting them off internet and shit. Fuck you, honestly. Like fuck you.
Well, you know what? Like my aunt is a vegan, and she's pretty pretty militant about it, and she's also like believes it's the only healthy way to go. Blah 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 blah. And you know what? Like I like to call her out on shit because I know I'm not saying all her stuff's bullshit because I think there's good points to every aspect, every type of eating style. But you know what? She'll tell you like, oh, this is the only good way. Like she'll tell you, oh, soy is great for you. I'm like, well, soy is not really good for you. In fact, for men, soy is actually really bad. She's like, well, if you're vegan, then soy is even better for you. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't become magically good because you're vegan. Like it mimics estrogen. It's not great for men. And then it's like, oh, well, the only way to lose weight is like to be a vegan. It's like, well, you gained weight since you became vegan. I've lost weight even though I eat a lot of meat. So I'm just throwing it out there that maybe you don't have a thing. And then her response will always be, once you call her out on something, will be like, well, when you're willing to open your mind, I'll have a discussion with you. It's like, well,
Yeah, right.
Well,
really
yeah,
don't
try
feel
open
like-
your mind yourself, you bitch, because here,
Yeah.
like people have been having great diets and losing weight and being healthy way before your little veganism movement was a thing. So, good news for you, bitch. You don't have the key to the fountain of youth. Sorry.
Like my personal experience, I think people eat too much meat. Personally, as someone who
Yeah.
loves meat and who
Probably.
eats way too much meat, I think people eat too much. And I think people eat crap meat. I think a lot of shit meat has too much. Ironically, has too much has too much grain and vegetable byproducts such as soy. I think there's too much crap in it. Hi, Chloe. So I mean, I do think there's definitely improvements to people's diet that they could have. You don't have to become vegan. You don't have to do anything to change your eating per se. Just maybe buy slightly higher quality products. But then, of course, there's a higher cost associated with it. So there's no perfect solution. But again, it's what you believe, and it's even what's in your budget, because everyone says, oh yeah, you have grass-fed beef, grass-finished beef, grass-fed beef, but then it's like, well, but you're also paying 3 times as much for a steak. So I don't know. Is that worth the potential health benefits? I don't know if it is or not. I personally don't generally have what they'd consider healthy meat. I usually get meat from Costco or Walmart. So
I think we all do.
Well, I think one of the things is we have such an abundance of just like prepackaged meat for us. Like we it's not just meat too. Like our society is spoiled for food. Like the amount of food that is available to us every goddamn day when we walk into any store is it's actually fucking obscene. It's like profoundly obscene. And the amount of food that is thrown out every day by these stores is even worse.
Yeah, it's even worse.
I've worked in the fucking grocery business for over 10 years, and the amount of stuff we throw out every fucking day from all of our departments, from grocery to bakery to produce to deli, is disgustingly obscene.
Yeah,
it's fucking embarrassing.
France is one of the only countries in the world, I think, that's actually like made it a law that supermarkets have to like donate or like not. They can't just throw shit away now, which is
which is one we should have in this country.
And also like I guess produce and stuff. Like you never think about this, but you go to go buy some vegetables, and everything there is all looks pretty much the same. It's all perfect because there's so much just misshapen food.
Yeah,
like doesn't look perfect. They just fucking throw away. Like that's a bunch of bullshit there too. Yeah.
And see, you know what? We went to go to visit my other uncle. He lives up in, well, not north by Redbeard standards, but he lives in Collingwood, so it's a little bit north of the city. And they have
just a touch north.
They have all sorts of apple orchards and shit up there. And we always go visit this apple orchard. My parents like to buy different apples and shit. And the guy was telling us, he's like, yeah, all the shit apples we have that are brown, misshapen, all that shit. Well, we turn it on to apple cider and we sell you apple cider. It's like, well, that's great. That's a great use of apple. Like, you know what? My biggest problem with meat, I'm not gonna food in general, but the meat industry particularly. I don't like big farming because I don't like that they do crap to their meat. I don't like how they treat animals. I don't like all that shit. And then I don't like how much is wasted. Like, you know, like Lee says, how much shit is thrown out? A fucking animal loses its life. I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but I want the animal to be used for its full purpose. I want the skin to be used for leather. I want the meat to be used for meat. Any other products that can be used in other industries, great. I want that animal to actually like justify why it was slaughtered. Where I don't want a fucking animal to be slaughtered and it's like, oh, we can't use this. Throw the fucking carcass out. And that to me is a real sin. And I mean, I'm not preaching religion or anything, but that to me is a real awful
No,
thing to do.
I'll give you that. Like here in North Bay, we're on Lake Nipissing, and this lake, it's when I was a kid, I used to think it was one of the Great Lakes. It's not at all, but it's a very big, decent-sized freshwater lake here in Ontario, and there's a native reserve on the lake, and because of their whatever constitutional native rights, whatever, they're allowed to put gill nets into this fucking lake, which is not big enough to sustain that kind of an industry. And every summer, there are reports of ghost nets where somebody went out there, put a fucking gill net, and then just, oh, I forgot about my net. And so, like, they just find these nets with, like, hundreds of dead, rotting fish in them. And again, like, people that do shit like that deserve to be sent on a rocket into the sun or something, in my opinion. Like,
right into the sun.
To have zero respect for animal life like that, like me, I killed a partridge when I was a kid. I had a pellet gun. I was all like gung ho with my pellet gun.
Yes.
And I was home one day on the weekend. My dad was at work, and I was outside my pellet gun, and a partridge out of nowhere came and landed on the doghouse.
Right out of the pear tree.
And I was like, oh. So I called my dad at work, and I was like, Dad, can I shoot this partridge? And he's like, yeah, as long as you clean it. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I shoot it. I hit it, and I didn't kill it my first shot. And I hit it enough that like on the ground doing this. And I loaded it again. It was a one-shot pellet gun, and I put it right up to his head, and like looked away and fired, and felt terrible. And then I had to clean it, which was just like, I didn't know about the whole with a partridge. You can like step on it and like just pull the fucking wings, and it cleans itself. Basically, apparently, it's a weird thing. But weird. I didn't know about this.
I didn't know that either. So
I didn't know about this. It's a common thing to know apparently when you live in this area. Like everybody knows, but not me when I was a kid. And so I'm out there in the backyard trying to fend off the dog who wants to eat everything I'm doing. And this is like Oreo? Bigger than Oreo. This was a big yellow lab who was like not going to be denied. So I finally like, to get a piece torn off and throw it away for the dog, and like spent like an hour finally getting this thing kind of cleaned up and put it in the freezer, and then eventually ate it. And it wasn't even a fan at all. Partridge it's very, very gamey and chewy. Wow. There's probably a way to cook it better. I didn't know about it.
Should have left it in the pear tree.
But again, like I have the capacity to kill an animal, but unless I have to for my own survival, somebody else can do that at this point in time.
But even as
someone just clipped Raidbeard saying I have the capacity to kill an animal. Cut it right there.
I do.
But I'm guessing, even as a kid, it sounds to me like you at least use the animal. Like, I'm not saying you had to kill it, but like you used it for.
For sure.
Which is to sustain yourself.
Like I've always been like growing up. I remember I was with my grandpa one time, and he was like haying in his field. And when you're haying the field with this giant rake thing, it's a giant saw basically. You ride around the field. Small animals sometimes get injured and die or something. And I found like this baby. It was a shrew. It's like a relative of the mole and mouse kind of family. And brought it back and had it in like my hamster cage and tried to give it food and stuff. And then woke up the next day and it had died. And then one day I was at my grandpa's again, and he had his one barn. The top level of the barn was where the bunnies were. That's where that was like the rabbit pens. Like you go up the fucking stairs and there's just fucking rabbits everywhere having a great old time. And I guess they're like the rabbits are territorial. Who knew?
Yes.
Like a couple of the big.
They're vicious little fuckers.
They are.
I think male rabbits. I think they're actually called bucks potentially. But anyway, the one big male rabbit, I guess throughout the night, like I was there and it was the morning time, and I think it was actually throughout the day. I think it was the evening because the morning I woke up, but I went up there see the rabbits, and there was a baby that was like bleeding, and I was like, oh no, and I'm like all sad, and I picked it up and brought it inside, and my grandma was like, we'll put it in the shoebox and see if it's okay. Woke up in the morning and it was dead, and I like fucking walked out into the forest, dug a hole and buried this little baby rabbit and cried the whole time. Like again, like like it's especially baby, like little fucking small, cute animals, man.
How much trauma did you have in your early life?
I just like actually growing up. Growing up, we actually.
It feels like all your stories are about like dead animals.
Actually, no, I didn't get into that. But like growing up, we lost at least like. Like we had like pet dogs that like got hit by cars or like the worst one ever. We had called the breed was a Pekingese toy. Her name was Isabel. She was just like she was kind of like she don't
tell me about dead dogs, dude.
This dog was like Oreo. It was like Oreo, but like the same kind of length, but like even like a wiener dog Oreo basically. It was a Pekingese toy, really small, little, adorable fucking dog. And I guess. It was tied up the one day and like around the deck, and I guess somehow the dog jumped off the deck.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Like really? just the most random fucking. I heard about it. I didn't. My dad was the one who like got home and discovered it. I heard about it later from my grandpa because my dad didn't tell us exactly what happened. My grandpa was always the one. It was like. Yeah, your dog died, eh? I'm like, yeah, this happened. He's like, no, that didn't happen. This would actually happen. My grandpa like just like fucking threw at my face every time. Like, oh, your dad's a liar. Your dog was actually smashed by a car, kind of thing. And it was like, I'd go home crying. My dad would be like, what's wrong? My grandpa told me, oh, I'm so sorry. It was maybe I did have a traumatic childhood. I just didn't realize it. I don't know.
Yes, you did.
Do you need a hug, Redbeard? Like right now, like seriously, do you need a serious hug? I mean, I'm not gonna offer one to you. I mean, I'm not gonna do that. But I mean, someone who knows you, who's watching this, might throw a hug your way.
I'm okay. I'll be all right.
Okay.
I've gotten by this far with very few hugs, so I'm sure I'll get by.
Oh, fuck off! Jesus Christ! Like, by the way, my entire childhood was full of trauma, and now I don't get enough hugs. Feel sorry for me.
I can go to my mom's house, get a hug whenever I want. It's fine.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad you can get a hug because wow, that just sounds like it. I'm actually honestly surprised you're not a serial killer. Like, are you a serial killer?
Apparently,
no. I know. Again, like I said, I know that like that's like it's a sign if I was the kind of kid that grew up and all my pets were dying because I was secretly killing them, then. But no, it's again.
This childhood trauma can like turn a person to a serial killer. There's not been a lot of deaths of like prostitutes in your area lately, have there?
It's the same kind of thing. Like I don't like I could kill an animal, but I don't want to. But again, I was just gonna say along the same lines, like. I couldn't really do it because unless it's my blood. Like if you're dying in front of me and I have to put my hands on your wound to save you, I can do that. But aside from that, if you're like, look at this cut, I cut my finger. Oh, look at it. I'm gonna be like punch you in the face because I want to see that shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't like other people's blood at all. I fucking can't stand it.
So that sounds like all the hookers you're gonna stab. You want to punch them as well.
No. Like if I need to let out aggression, I have a big fat punching bag in the other room that I can just go to town on. I'm good.
I don't want to hear about the woman you have hung up in your bedroom.
Works, dude.
Oh,
nice.
Beat beard.
I'm actually pretty much convinced now that Redbeard actually is a serial killer of some sort. Like, like all the pieces are coming together.
Thanks, Nick. One guy who's been here and met me. Fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've met you before. You didn't.
I got it alive.
No, I said been here though. Nick has actually been to my home, and apparently, this looks like the home of a serial killer. Thanks, buddy.
Well, I mean,
you're in a fucking fortified compound, man.
I didn't. That's not the. I didn't make it like that. I just
point. You're totally set up to evade the cops or like at least hunker down for a couple days.
Yeah, no.
That doesn't mean I'm going to.
I mean,
everything in relation to the compound, which my boss put there. I didn't do that.
Yeah. Because your boss knows
the best serial killers often, fool everybody. It's like, oh no, I didn't realize Redbeard was a killer. He seemed like a normal guy, just normal. I mean, every once in a while he'd fling dog poop into my yard, but otherwise, I thought he was pretty cool.
Redbeard.
Like, again, going back to that, there's no yard. There's no yard there.
Redbeard. Ash, what are you trying
God
to say?
damn it.
Redbeard, show me your upper right arm. Pull your sleeve up.
You get the track
Show me.
marks.
Do you have a
Upper
tattoo?
No.
Pull up your sleeve.
What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, hold on. Please
What do I see,
see.
his armpit?
Hold
Is that
on.
your thing? Text
He's
him.
looking for the track marks.
I don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
He was described at the time as 6'4" and about 200 pounds with a thin build, short red hair, and blue eyes.
That sounds like a
Oh,
Yeah, because they wouldn't put the beard in there at all. Like, come on, man, come on.
And
And
it
it had a
happened when you shaved your beard off for November.
That might have been the
still,
time.
it still took a good year to get back to where it is now.
But then it said police
Yeah.
also noted he was missing
But the
front teeth and had a barbed wire tattoo on his
Oh.
right upper arm.
Oh,
So,
these are all
He
things
was
that-
actually
And
barbed
so-
wire.
yeah, you're innocent. You're innocent.
Missing my
Snowden's
front
a
teeth?
rib
What the
break
fuck?
killer.
Well, I don't know. You could have dentures for all I know. Like, I don't know.
No, man. Taking care of my teeth is something I do.
Since Nick is actually
the
doing
one-
the
the
roll
one-
call of what people are drinking, trying to like get out of this serial
All
killer.
right, all right. Lee, what are you drinking?
Little Beast from North Brewing, which is their lagered ale. Because of course, every beer in Nova Scotia now is almost a lagered ale if it's not an IPA, because that's how it happens.
No. I
Gotta
got.
sell shit. People want IPAs, stouts, and
I guess I should have grabbed a Sharpie or something and wrote on this because I got a can of this.
Was that a
Yeah,
brown
I
ale?
don't believe it is
Was
what
it a
he's
brown?
saying.
Ashley, look at you go! Yeah, it was
It
actually
was a brown ale.
nice. This was brewed by Highlander for some weird dog sled race thing that's happening. That they travel from like it's a thing that's been happening for like 50 years or something. And all these dog sleds go and they like deliver the mail or some weird fucking shit along this historic route. And it happens once a year. So they made this beer. It's called the Malt Musher, I think, as far as like dog musher things go. And yeah, it's just a nice brown ale. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it.
I saw you pouring it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's a brown ale. It's got to be a brown ale."
Like it's right up the Highlander guy's alley because he has a weird phobia of hops. So
Or he's
we
just
don't like
he
that.
just has a malt fetish.
no, he's just more of a like again like Highlander. I've said this many times. They're super not adventurous, but like everything they make is a really great example generally of the style. It's just usually the more malty styles because the head brewery just he's not even actually. Well, I'm going back to that whole Brothers Grimm place I went to. When I was there, I got Dwayne to try. Like Dwayne is usually like fucking. They'll give him an IPA, and he'll put it in his mouth and get the taste of it and spit it out because he can't stand the IP. He hates hop bitterness. He can't fucking take it. He hates it so much.
So
But
weird.
when we were there, this place
Maybe
being in
it's
Hamilton,
because of the brewing industry.
this place being in Hamilton. Well, again, he's an older guy, so like he's just whatever. But he has no
That's
problem with.
okay. He's entitled to die.
He wants me to brew a beer for the festival. I still don't know what the fuck I want to do, but he wants to like do it at Highlander, so done like not just like a fucking me a homebrew. Like he wants to like me come up with something, and they'll make it for the festival.
Lactose stout.
All right.
You know,
as
I wouldn't
entertaining
mind.
it is-
I wouldn't mind taking suggestions from you guys, but whatever Greg just said, fuck no.
All right, as entertaining as it is to listen to Redbeard talk, I'm going to take this offline because I need to get to bed because I got an interview in the morning.
Oh, good, because Plantation Ewart wants to make an appearance tonight.